3, 2, 1.
Yo, what's good? It's Destruct. Deck with ARNP management. You know, I'm of course a West Coast representative, LA all day. Coming live and direct with Stay Illuminated. Look out for them. And more importantly, look out for the Chronic Blues. Definitely safe to say is a future classic. Shout out to High Fly. All my people's tuning in. Let's get busy. Chill.
Stay, gotta try to work it out when I'm irate. But the only if I have is cause my life's great.
I was, I want to say 12 at the time, and my name before, which I won't disclose, just wasn't really cutting it, you know? So Destruct really came out of nowhere. I felt like it was a name that when you heard it, you would know exactly what to expect. You know, it could be even a rock band or a DJ or whatever the case. You know, I really felt like it was a type of name that would keep people on their toes, and when they hear the music, I mean, they make their own mind up for it, you know? So I was 12 years old when Destruct came into the picture. It really came out the blue. There ain't no crazy origin behind it. There's no crazy meaning. I'm not a destructive person. I mean, I definitely get busy on the mic, and I mean, if you want to battle, whatever, I'll definitely, you know, I'll fucks you up. But, you know, that's behind me. At the end of the day, I'm more constructive than destructive, so there's no crazy symbolic meaning behind my name. It was just something that I felt was unique, and you know, moving forward, you know, being 24 now, definitely safe to say that I could not picture myself being called anything else. I think once you hear my music and put my name and two together, it's a cool little vibe I think I've created with my sound and the direction I've chosen to go with my craft so far. So it's what it is, Destruct.
First time seeing me, yo, you know who I am. Getting close line when I collide with mine, spitting the dope rhyme.
I mean, man, my mom's from Brazil, from Rio de Janeiro. My pops is from Chile, from Santiago. And, you know, I definitely was brought up from anywhere from salsa to samba to even merengue, you know what I mean, doing quinceañeras back in the day and whatnot. My mom was a big, like, soft rock fan, like bumping nothing but like Coast 103.5, so anywhere from Sade to Eagles, you know, I was definitely heavily influenced on that. My dad was my dad and my stepdad, they were both hardcore, you know, classic rock fans. So from AC/DC to Queen, all of that played definitely a big role in my childhood. The first album I actually ever owned was Warren G, Regulators, with Nate Dogg and whatnot, rest in peace. And it's crazy because as smooth as it was and just the sound that Warren G created, it was just a real easy listening kind of introduction for me to get into hip hop, you know. And with that being said, it kind of opened so many more doors stylistically, you know what I mean? That's why I like to say I'm more of an artist than just a rapper, because I'm inspired by so many different genres of music, you know. And I think it all coincides with the name. Like I said, when you hear Destruct, I mean, there ain't no kind of borderline or any kind of limitation when it comes to it, and that's exactly what I want to portray and achieve with my music.
Satisfied, hell now, we gon' continue climbing and weather the storm, ready for whatever climb.
I mean, I'm originally from West LA, you know, Pico and Bray to be exact. I mean, it was crazy, man. It made me a lot more humble and fortunate, you know, I think a lot more fortunate of what I have. I remember even walking down the street getting mugged with my grandma, just walking to McDonald's for one of my homies' birthdays. Definitely trials and tribulations. I was the only child with my mom and my stepdad. My parents actually, they divorced when I was young. They divorced when I was like 1 year old. Having pops in and out of my life, it definitely, you could say, affected myself growing up. With my mom and my stepdad, I was about 8 years old. From my only child to being in a house full of 8 stepdaughters, definitely pretty crazy. It was novella after novella. It was a dramatic change moving to Lancaster, going from an urban scenario to just straight, you know, countryside, you know what I mean? Not even a state of brothers, you know, just a cow, a mountain, and a mailbox. Going from Lancaster back to LA to moving out to the valley has definitely been some crazy transitions, relationships, how the family went, you know, from a house of 8 that actually shrunk down to a house of 4, you know, gave me a crazy point of view on how I see a lot of things in life and how I, you know, translate that into my music. And I like to keep things real open to the listener that, you know, whatever you take from it, you know, hate it or love it, but you gotta respect it. The concept as a whole, you can be against it for it, but you can respect it as a whole, because I definitely pay attention to all details as an artist, you know. With that being said, dealing with so much, you know, coming up, I think that's what made me realize more, just to be more fortunate in everything. I really try to indulge myself in as much as possible to really make that blend and connection with the music. Crazy thing with the childhood is conceptually, I mean, it definitely gives me more than enough ammo to really talk about what I've been through from experience, besides just my free creative expression. Some of my best work has been about stuff that I've been through personally. I'm grateful for everything I've been through and my folks, you know, maintaining it and playing their role on bringing me up and helping me be the man I am today, the artist I am today, and I'm glad they support me.
But when that pussy go with a platinum mouth, she even remember your raps plus.
Well, besides hip hop, I mean, I'm a big rock fan. I love Red Hot Chili Peppers. I love freaking Incubus, Silver Sun Pickups. You know, on the more soulful tip, you know, I love Sade. You know, I even love some Mariah Carey in the mix, man. I'm a music fan, man. I'm not just a hip hop head. I appreciate the music. You know, I keep my Queen next to my Wu-Tang. You know what I mean? I keep my Linkin Park next to my Jay-Z. You know, I'm definitely real open when it comes to what I listen to, because it's all inspiring. It's all inspiring at the end of the day. What, you know, with the music, any artist, whether they want to admit it or not, we're all heavily influenced by what we listen to, whether it's, you know, what's hot right now or what was hot to us back then, what we consider classics back then compared to the classics that we have now that are gonna be. So I'm very diverse with, you know, my musical selections. I think it's really meaning why I'm very diverse when it comes to my musical executions, you know. I never want to limit myself in what I do. That's why I'm even low-key singing. I'm trying to, you know, produce now. Just really trying to get my hands involved as much into this thing called music, which is my life. Which, I mean, as you can see, I'm not trying to glorify it, but it's nothing without music in Portuguese. So that's on every level, as a fan, as an artist, as pretty much a man, a human being, you know what I mean? Without this, things would be a lot harder. And I'm grateful every day for being blessed to do what I do and being blessed to, you know, have access to all this music that inspires me for me to do what I do. You know, so don't be so close-minded, because you never know what you might like. You never know. Give it a chance. You know, you never know what can happen. So. I mean, if I do ever play games, which I don't, my Xbox fried a long time ago. If I do play, it'll probably be like Max Payne 3, or I guess like what, Call of Duty 4. But it's very rare that I'll play games. I'll probably read a book more than I'll play a video game, and that rarely happens as well. So
Kinda get lost when you having fun, but it helps to ease that stress.
Favorite dinner plate? Well, San Brazilian. Big thing we're on, black beans and rice, some bomb like lion chicken with some fried bananas, or plátanos, as you know, us Latinos would like to call it. I'm a big fan on sushi. I love my California rolls with ginger and an eel sauce and soy sauce and all that shit. Other than that, shoot, man, stroganoff, which is like a combination of beef, potato, rice all together. It's another famous Brazilian dish, also very bomb. And of course, who doesn't love some carne asada, taquitos? Most recent project is the newest album with my boy High Fly, called The Chronic Blues. And safe to say it's one of my most mature projects, just sonically, tone-wise, conceptually. I love it because it sounds like some today music, and half of the record is sample-free. So we made some crack from scratch. It's just something that I think, you know, you can either wake up to it or go to sleep to it, you know? Any time of day, just put this on, and even if you don't smoke, man, it might, you know, open some doors upstairs that you haven't really noticed as a fan of hip-hop or just music generally. Or if you're a fan of me and what I do, I think it will definitely open some more doors on just, you know, different styles and vibes and concepts and all of the above. So this is number 19 in the crazy legacy that I'm growing, putting together on my own 2 feet. And I'm really proud of it, you know? So don't sleep, because this will be a future classic. Shout out to Hugo on the front too, and you know everyone else involved with the project. Ricky Rock on guitar, Mike Silas on guitar, Robert Oriel on vocals, Adriana Talivera on vocals. I mean, it's Steady P on the cuts. Shout out to, of course, Stay Illuminated for the fresh gear. I mean, and of course, big shout out to my boy Edgar Neary, who did the graphic design. If y'all need designs, holla at my
Pretty
boy.
close to the block, one alley round the corner, one video was shot. Man, homie, show.
I mean, the concept behind it just kind of came about while we're maybe 3 songs deep. You know, my boy High Fly, he's been wanting to work with me for a while. And, you know, I always thought his production was cool, but it was never something I could hear myself on. So when he sent me a track, it made perfect sense. You know, I really felt the vibe of the song, just how it was put together. It just sounded very professional, and you know, you could just hear the quality. So when I laid down the first track, he had a studio out in Whittier. I was like, shit, what else you got? And most of the stuff, like I said, was sample free, and I was really blown away by it. And there's only a few people that, you know, really inspire me and motivate me to do a full album with them. It's safe to say High Fly was one of them. So with all that in the mix, as I was going through the project and developing it, you know, I said a line. I said, no pills, no lean, I'm a chronic dude. Ain't no sorrow to sing here but the chronic blues. And I don't know, that line just stood out to me. I felt like it was something that people could familiarize with, like Dre and all, you know, the West Coast old school hip hop, as well as, you know, 2001 and moving forward in the late 90s. And at the same time, doing something completely different with it, you know? And like I said, it's not just an album for stoners or if you smoke or not. Like I say on the intro, you know, for one of the first things I say is, you know, the blues, we all can get it because life is what we live in. So the blues is anything we could all go through. I just break it down in this certain way. But of course, I try to make it as wide range as possible. So I think even if you're not a fan of hip hop, this album could work for you. You know what I mean? It's real vibrant. It's real smooth, and we also got the hard boom bap stuff for, you know, for the real heads that know what's up. So with that being said, I mean, Chronic Blues was something that I made 5 months, in 5 months, about 2 months ago. So it's still brand new. It's still fresh. It's how I'm feeling right now, on a personal note as well as on a musical note. That's the thing. The best thing I like about it is that everything is right now. Usually when I do projects, you know, they're a couple years back or a couple months back. I mean, there's definitely a good time frame from when the album's completed to when it comes out. But this one was like, as soon as we're done, we put it out. Luckily, 420 was right around the corner. What better release date than to drop it? And it motivated us to get it done. And shit, man. I mean, for High Fly, for it being his first project, to record, mix, master the whole enchilada, I give him mad props for it. You know, and this is his debut album. Compare that to a lot of heads that, you know, did everything from scratch, and I bet you wouldn't even be able to compare it. You know what I mean? So it's a hell of a start for him, and it's a hell of a continuation for myself and my legacy and his catalog that I've been building. Favorite track on the album, safe to say, is Move Fast, parentheses, blank pages, just because it was one of the last ones I did. You know, besides it being sample free, I mean, I was just amazed by just the vibe of it, the sound of it. I mean, the minute I heard it, it was just easy for me to write to. You know, this whole project felt really effortless, like I'm just talking to you. You know, I wasn't even rapping anymore. It just felt so comfortable that I just followed where the music went, and it was just butter. It just made sense. So with Move Fast, I mean, it's definitely a real depiction of just how I see myself, as well as on the scene, and just how things have been, you know, have been moving. You know what I mean? As on every level, from family to friends to me moving out for the first time, and you know, just growing, period.
Thinking it won't last, better wake up and move fast.
Future projects, myself and this producer AGQ from Spain, we've been working on this classic for quite some time. It's been ready for maybe 3 years plus, man, but I just wanted the right timing and just the right promotion behind it. So it's called Con Todo, with everything. You know, since he's from Spain, I'm from LA, I wanted to represent both languages, and that one is just on a whole nother level. You know, you can see the first video we put out, it's called Dreamcatcher, featuring a Rogue Venom and Die. You can check that out on YouTube and whatnot. And yeah, man, that's 18 tracks right there, just where I was 3 years ago, but the crazy thing about it is that it still sounds brand new. It sounds like some today music, and it's all timing. You know, one thing I learned growing with this music is quality takes patience. So it's definitely always quality over quantity. Shout out to Rebels to the Grain, Breakbeats, Chip. Other than that next solo record, I have an album with the female MC J-Roz, as well as two producers, Nyquil and Roz. We got this collective called Quiet on the Set that's going to be released under Abstract Rules label called Keep the Feel Entertainment. So you could definitely look out for that within the summer. Crazy project. We got 2 Mex on the album, Abstract Rude, Acid Rain. So it's a real vibrant, you know, boom bap record that I think heads are gonna fuck with. Me and J-Roz's chemistry is pretty crazy on it. I also have a live band called Inner City Soul. We've been working on the record for like maybe 3 years plus as well. That one's called Picking Up the Pieces. If you're a fan of the roots, if you're just a fan of live, just dope hip hop with a message behind it and just layers of just music, then brace yourself for that. That's pretty much safe to say what's gonna be next in the works. Besides, you know, further investments with the Chronic Blues. I have like a video planned out for almost every track. So I really believe in that project. I feel like it's a good prelude for what's next to come. So that's definitely what you can look forward to with this. Big shout outs to Stay Illuminated, who's one of my main sponsors. Also big shout outs to 50 Blizzards, Greeley Clothing. Big shout outs to Factin. Of course, big shout outs to Analyze and Interpret, who's formerly Instrument Clothing. So definitely people that I'm blessed to work with. Shout outs to 2 Ill Clothing as well. You know, the people that are just family, that they know, you know, when it comes to any involvement, it's something that at the end of the day, whoever's involved, we all gonna benefit from. So much love to all the sponsors holding me down, and I mean, hey, preserving fresh clothing, period, you know, for our culture. So that's definitely what it is. In regards to future sponsorships, I mean, I'm definitely open, man. I'm a free agent, and that's on every level, from musical endeavors to clothing to whatever the case is. So definitely holla at your boy. I'm more than welcome to you know, hear what you got. It's pretty much show me what you could do for me, and I'll do the same in reverse. So, you know, anyone that's down to give me the time of day, much appreciated. You know, and that's on every level as well, from just listening to my music to, you know, wanting to be down with, you know, any way a part of my movement. So definitely open doors, you know. I appreciate any you know, feedback. So that's what it is.
Get past and I'm getting old. Try to realize what I did before.
Final thoughts. What the hell am I gonna eat right now? Because I'm starving, man. That's pretty much what's taking over the membrane right now. Tengo hambre, way. Now the question is, what to eat?
Try to realize what I did before. Looking at myself.
Shout out to everyone behind the Chronic Blues. Big ups to High Fly, Ricky Rock, Edgar Neary, everyone I mentioned before. Of course, shout outs to the Fam Bam, EQ, Black Key, K-Dub, XP. You know, shout outs to my boy Assume. We got some other shit in the works as well. Impress. All my people's holding me down, man. You know what I mean? Big shout outs to Johnny Rhymes, Know-It-All for having me come through. And of course, the biggest shout outs to ARNP management for, you know, letting them know what time it is with the peoples. And yeah, man, preserving this hip hop culture, you know what I mean? I'm definitely glad to be one of the representatives, and I will forever carry the torch for this music, you know what I mean? Because it ain't nothing without music in life, right? Nada sin música. One love, DestructMusic.com. Go get the Chronic Blues, man. That shit could change your life, son. Don't sleep. DestructMusic.com. What it is, ARNP management. Much love.
Proof way before we finished it. A self-made project by self-made artists, building from the ground up like seeds for a harvest. Ready for that lift up with self-made launches, so it's safe to say from beast.